Today's show is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with the advertisers that fit your audience. That's Podgo at podgo.co. Podgo. That's where the pods go.
Hello and welcome to the Infectious Groove Podcast, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Recorded at the 33 1/3 Music Appreciation Center in Speakeasy, located just outside of Detroit, Michigan. The Infectious Groove Podcast is your source for jammy jams, music news, and the best in-depth music discussion. Thanks for joining us. Now here are your hosts.
Heyo, it's Russ and Michelle and Kyle, and we are doing the Infectious Groove Podcast as promised. New episode every Monday. It's pretty fun.
It's a good time.
I like it. It's a good time. We had, and nothing makes me happier than when I say this phrase and then the sheer look of shock on both of your faces. But we had another big week last week. Yeah, we had, as promised, we had another YouTube video come out on Thursday. The march to 100 subscribers continues. If you're listening to this and you haven't hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, please do it. And the reason why I want that so badly to get at least 100 subscribers is because I can't change our URL until we get 100 subscribers. Instead of me saying, and you can find us at youtube.com/Infectious Groove Podcast, it's youtube.com/gibberish, like lowercase j, uppercase a, niner.
Did I get the niner in there?
Yeah. Search through 1 billion videos to find our video.
Yeah. So, well, like for now, you can go to YouTube and just search Infectious Groove Podcast, and we're the only channel that comes up. Yeah. So that's fine. It just would make it easier on me.
What are we at?
So we're like 80-ish, 83, 84. Something like that. So anyways, yeah, there's a couple videos up there now. And then I know I talked about this last week, but to be clear, the videos that are on the channel are not just us sitting here doing the show. It's actual like additional stuff added onto the show. Some information about the records we have down here in the studio that we record in and so on and so forth. And we've got some cool ideas for everything going forward, but it's just another cool addition to the show that we did. So that happened. And then, boy, did we get a lot of feedback on last week's episode. Now, Kyle, I don't know if you remember, but I don't want to name names, but one of us had a couple of comments that didn't quite sit well while you and I were recording, and then they sure confused some other listeners. So
I don't know what's so confusing.
Let's break this down. So first of all, you have the DNA comment.
Yes, your DNA is all over the basement.
There were quite a few people who found that comment to be confusing and gross. I'm not being funny. Between Facebook, Twitter, maybe not Instagram, but a music forum and in person, I was asked about that comment every day of last week. At least once.
And
everyone would like you to clarify what you were talking about when you said your DNA is all over the place.
My dad's skin cells are all over this place.
Okay.
Have you ever watched CSI, man?
Yes. Oh, that's the new one on CBS, CSI Michelle?
Yeah. I probably have hair follicles.
Sure. Yep. I've seen that one.
Yep.
And then the other one, a lot of people were real confused about what Michelle is talking about.
As we all were.
With regard, well, we did have one person put out what I think might be what Michelle was talking about.
No. The one on Twitter?
I don't have the clip handy, but for those of you who may not have listened to last week, Michelle did the Michael Scott thing where she started a sentence and she didn't know where she was going. And
That's exactly what happened.
She was talking about the song she never wants to hear again is the one they play at the weddings to get people going. And then she just sort of stopped talking.
Yeah, we're waiting here with an anticipation of what she's going to say, and there's just nothing.
She stopped as if the sentence was over, and refresh my memory, Kyle. Was the sentence over?
No, I was still waiting for what was to come, and there was nothing to come.
So, when you said it was the song they play at the wedding, we had someone take a guess, and they think it's the Cha-Cha Slide.
No, that was one from Twitter. I said no.
That wasn't from Twitter. That was from Facebook.
No.
You don't look at social media anyways.
I answered and I said I always dance to the Cha-Cha Slide.
So it's not that I was so excited about that. So we still don't know what Michelle was talking about.
We don't know what Michelle was talking
Wait, hold on real quick. I want to just as close to the source as I can. Michelle, do you know what you were talking about? No. Sweet. A couple other things from last week's episode that I thought were really cool. Number one, when we were talking about our Jammy Jams, and we all three were talking up the Wolfgang Van Halen Distance single, had more than a few people be like, I hadn't listened all the way till the end. Until you guys said it. Yeah, and people were like, yeah, so I'm crying over the voicemail now, which I just thought that was cool.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I just thought a lot of people hadn't, I thought it was cool that people that hadn't listened did because of us. And by the way, Wolfgang Van Halen retweeted us twice last week.
I saw that.
So we're pretty famous now.
I'm going to get a hold of that kid and see if I can get him to come on the show because he has been doing a whole slew of interviews, and why not us?
Why not?
That's my question. Anyways, the other thing that we got was there was a couple of people that did the, which I totally get, the whole like, I can't believe you didn't mention this when you talked about motivational songs. Mm-hmm. And right off the top, I was like, damn it. Yep, that's good. A couple of Van Halen ones somebody mentioned was Right Now and Dreams. Like, absolutely. Like, huge motivational songs. Probably the number one that we got that I was like, oh, I can't believe none of us mentioned that was Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Like, as soon as that starts, everybody gears
that might
up.
Be the one. That might be the one.
That might be what you were talking about?
That might be the one because I would like to stop believing. I don't know. But
have you never been to a sporting event? Because they play that all the time.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh, boy. Wait, you don't like Don't Stop Believing? Are you being serious right now?
I liked it the first 100,000 times I heard it.
Do you hear that? That was all of our subscribers turning off the podcast. Next week I'm gonna be like, well, the YouTube channel was at 83 and somehow we dropped down to -4 subscribers.
It's too much.
It's a fantastic song. Anyways, the one I know we can agree on, and I want to say Chris Adams is the one that posted this, but when we were talking about sad motivational songs, The Show Must Go On, Queen.
Yeah.
That is motivational as all get out, and it's sad as all get out.
It is.
So that was great feedback. Yeah. I thought all of that was great. So as we roll into this week, we're going to talk about technology and music. Two things Michelle's not familiar with at all, music or technology. But thankfully,
today's going to be a treat.
Today is going to be a treat. But Kyle and I both know a lot about tech and music, so we'll get into that in a little bit. If you are hearing these comments and these feedbacks and these things, and you're saying, "But I wanted to share what I thought Michelle was talking about," and you haven't done that yet, find us on Facebook or Instagram at either Facebook or Instagram /InfectiousGroovePod, or go to Twitter and find us at _pod, or go to YouTube.com/gibberish.
Hashtag WWM. TA.
Oh boy, that's no good. So she doesn't get more hashtags. Yeah, she doesn't get more hashtags.
I can't help it. I'm the cool person on the show.
I'm going to say no, and we'll go into our first segment.
Music news.
So I'm not going to bury the lead here, Kyle. If I'm not mistaken, everybody's screwing up this week. Do you remember that one week recently where we were like, nobody screwed up and nobody died?
Yeah.
I feel like this is the opposite of that this week.
Yeah, just a lot of bitching from people.
All right, next.
All right, next topic. No. So who's complaining about what?
Well, I'm going to start with a non-complaint first. Well, no. This is a complaint, but in a different form. Van Morrison has a fund to help with people not being able to make money off of music while this whole thing is going on.
Which I'll say I'm okay with you so far.
Mm-hmm, which is awesome. But now he's using that as a means to rile up the Super Americans.
For more information on Super Americans, visit infectiousgroupodcast.com or listen to last week's episode.
He recorded a song with Eric Clapton called Stand and Deliver, and it's an, quote, anti-lockdown song.
Yeah. For those of you who can't see, Kyle was using Dr. Evil quotes just now.
Yes. And I understand, and like you were saying when we were talking earlier, is yes, everyone wants to go to a show and play a show and
make
all
money.
These things. Yes, and make money. But given your platform, I don't think that you should be out rallying people together to be anti-lockdown.
Yeah.
Spread the infectious disease.
It's to me, I get it, man. I want to see the venues too.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go to a show like yesterday. I want to be at a show last night. But
we're going in the opposite direction.
Well, then there's that whole human lives thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. I guess I understand where he's coming from, but to me, that is the wrong way to go about it.
We'll have to see, and I can't remember if you mentioned it, but I know we talked earlier about it, that Clapton's on this cut.
Yeah.
I wonder how that'll go for Clapton. Because Clapton's been like, without getting too deep in the well here, Clapton should have been canceled a couple of times over some things that he's said or done, but he's always gets off kind of scot-free, you know? So I'm kind of wondering what
Is
the
it his
reaction...
looks?
This also isn't Van Morrison's first go-around
No.
It
with
was like
this whole
his
thing.
third or fourth,
Van
right?
the man be messing up.
Yep, so he released Born to Be Free, As I Walked Out, and No More Lockdown, and then accused the UK government of taking our freedom.
I know.
okay.
We reported on No More Lockdown when it came out because we all laughed at the title.
Yeah.
So he's just continuing on his quest
right.
of
So,
things.
what other whining is going on in music?
Ooh, Grammy talk.
Nothing excites Kyle like awards talks.
So, Justin Bieber, of all people, was, I think, maybe a little bit angry and confused as to why his newest album, Changes, was labeled as pop and not R&B.
What happened to It's an Honor to be nominated?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about you
Yeah.
be thankful that you have a nomination? Because
I feel like... Go ahead.
the second person I'm going to talk about doesn't have any, and that's why he's angry.
Well, I didn't get any either.
Wait, can Justin Bieber give his nomination to the other guy?
Yeah, maybe he could just withdraw altogether and then give it over to
By the way, I like how you thoroughly confused both of us for like a solid 2 seconds. There was like 2 seconds
I
of
was
dead
like,
air.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, both of us were like, huh?
What?
Oh, I get it. But
What was Michelle talking about?
So I just, my thing with that is like, and a lot of these artists, really high profile artists always talk out of both sides of their mouth about awards anyways. It's all like, oh, the Grammys aren't relevant anymore. Well, then what do you care?
Yeah.
Then who cares what you were nominated for? But having said that, you referenced someone else having not been nominated?
The Weeknd is very, very angry that he received a total of 0.0 nominations. Being an avid Weeknd fan, I am going to leave the fact that I like him and like all of his music out of this.
Yeah.
But I agree with why he's mad for one reason, and that's because he has been I just recently learned all this and started reading about it, but so for like an entire year now, he's been playing this character that is from his newest album.
Right.
And every time he would do a live performance or be seen by the public, he would get more and more beat up.
Right.
So his makeup would change.
Yeah. You talked about it before, how people weren't getting his YouTube video.
And so he's been in character in doing this thing and being dedicated to this whole project that he put out. This
Garth
concept
Brooks did
album.
that once and got made fun of.
Yes, I just watched a video on YouTube the other day where they were. It was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Probably unnecessarily railing on Chris Gaines.
Yes,
and everyone,
100%.
I'll guarantee you everybody in the room never even listened to the record.
Matter of fact, it was Joe Rogan and Chris Stapleton.
Yeah,
the interview was like a year ago.
Of course.
And they were just railing because they have no idea what the hell
I've
is
said
even
it
going
before
on.
on this show, and I'll say it till I die. Anybody who makes fun of the Chris Gaines record has not heard the Chris Gaines record.
Yeah.
If you hear that album and you truly don't like that album, first of all, I'll be surprised. And second of all, like, I get it. I get that it's fun to just, make fun of it. It's a Chinese democracy. It's a punchline. But like what The Weeknd's doing, it's like allowed now.
Yeah.
Where when Garth did it, like people lost their mind and still are losing their mind about it. So
Yeah,
like in a way, I feel like he should be like, oh well, look, I didn't become the butt of the industry.
Yeah.
So
the entire time that they were talking about the Chris Gaines thing, I was just like, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Well, don't let the truth get in the way of, we on this podcast here, we say things that are untrue all the time, and it's way more entertaining.
But character aside, what if the music just isn't good though? You can dedicate your entire year to a shitty album, and then you don't get nominated for Grammy in the end.
So it's by far not my favorite of his albums, but I don't think it's shitty by any means.
I don't have a horse in this race. Like, he's just there for me. But I'm saying like that aside, like I don't care how many meat dresses Lady Gaga wears. That doesn't correlate to how many Grammys she gets.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I just think that I guess he was correlating to putting, not only did he put all the time into how long it took to record the album, but then afterwards he's still like dedicated to the process of making it something more than what it is just listening to it, by seeing him as a part of the project that has happened.
Oh yeah. Well, and actually Sturgill did that with Sound and Fury, and he did get nominated for Best Rock Album. So,
right. So I understand from that aspect, but also if you like, you guys already know how I feel about award shows, and I feel like they're all bullshit, and it's all rigged to a certain extent.
Sure.
And the Grammys are no different than the Oscars as far as great things not getting snubbed. It happens every year.
Well, yeah.
All the time.
Well, my first thought when I read this earlier today, when you told me about it, I was like, tons. I could go over there right now and pull 50 records that weren't recognized by the Academy that are brilliant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's that. And then, I warned you about this before we went on the air because I didn't want to be like insulting the weekend. But like my initial impression of the story is like when I grew up, we called that being a sore loser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just don't get a Grammy or a nomination because you put out what you feel is great art.
Yeah, and I try to look at it from his perspective as putting into all of what he's doing, and then to just have nothing at the end.
Right.
Like, no one recognized it at the end.
I mean, I realize it's a joke to everyone else, but like Axl Rose worked on Chinese Democracy for 11 years.
Yeah, that's
And when
crazy.
it came out, it got rave reviews in the press. And then because the Grammys decided it wasn't up to their standard, it didn't get even one nomination. You know what I mean? So like, I get it.
Yeah. You know who else didn't get nominated this year?
You.
Well, I did also did not get nominated.
Welcome to what Michelle is talking about. Today's controversial subject. Michelle wasn't nominated for a Grammy.
The Killers also did not get nominated.
and they laid the world's greatest tweet out.
Yeah,
I
they
have
sure
it.
did.
So it's in all caps.
Well,
This is
let me set this up for
Okay.
you real quick. Even if you haven't never physically followed Donald Trump's Twitter feed, Donald Trump does a thing where he tweets oftentimes in all caps or will like caps the wrong word of a sentence. It's hard to describe. I'm trying to think of a good example, but like if it's like and I'm talking about that guy, he'll put like talking in all caps instead of like that guy, you know, or whatever. But he oftentimes will use all caps as if like that makes whatever he's saying more real.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that setup, what did the Killers tweet?
They tweeted, observers were not allowed into the counting rooms. We won the Grammys, got loads of legal votes. Bad things happened which our observers were not allowed to see. Never happened before. Dozens of ballots were sent to people who never asked for them. # rigged Grammys. # we won.
My favorite part of it is right off the top where it's like, we won the Grammys. like not even like album of the year or like
just all
record
of it.
of the year, like just the whole Grammys.
Now that I think about that, now that you reread that, they might have been taking a little jab at The Weeknd too, because he's crying about not being nominated.
You know, I put that together a little bit, but then I also I want to believe that it's just good natured like that, but that very well might be a thing too. But
he's because The Weeknd is the only person I've heard so far like being outraged that they had nothing to.
I mean,
and the Killers thing too, it's not even necessarily a shot at Trump. It's just like do you guys remember when we used to have fun and joke like before cancel culture and faux outrage? That's just them being funny. Like that to me would be like if we went to the store and you get a cup that's way too big and I'm like, that's huge, you know, like that's just good natured fun, you know, like they weren't like, and also F Donald Trump or what, you know what I mean?
The greatest thing is that they didn't even mention anything about who would typically be writing something like that, and you already know who they're talking about.
Sure.
Which is it's so funny to me.
Yep. Did you have something else, Michelle? Wait, what? Hold on. Welcome to our new segment. What might Michelle be talking about?
I did have something.
It looked like she was so
Oh,
close.
all right. Back. I'm in it. But we've talked before about how the Grammys, you know, award shows in general are just kind of like.
Yeah.
shit,
Well, at the end of the day, my thing with The Weeknd is that the Grammys more or less helped him blow up. Like he was one of those artists where he was on the come up, and then all of a sudden he won a bunch of Grammys, and like everyone else was like, oh, like Adele. Same way. Like as soon as Adele hit the handful of Grammys, everybody was like, "Oh, I should be listening to Adele."
What was the most recent award? The AMAs, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
And he won several for that.
So be thankful.
Right. So I think that he just thought for sure if he won a bunch there that he's going to, and they were all for this record, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
So he just thought he had it in the bag, maybe. I don't know.
All right. Well, I feel like this is a developing story we're probably going to touch on more because the Grammys are in like the week, second week of February.
If you want for shits and giggles, if you want to find out how angry he is about it, go to his Instagram and just read all of there's no pictures. It's just posts of him ranting about how pissed off he is.
Sweet.
Sweet. Well, Michelle's not going to do that. All right. Moving right along. Our jammies. So my first jammy jam this week is by a band I don't really like all that much off an album I don't like all that much. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Allow me to tell you more. So I love this band's first record, and I like at least one song off their second record. But for some reason, this entire week, I've had "Wake Up Call" by Maroon 5 stuck in my head.
You don't like them?
I love the first record. In my opinion,
Songs about Jane.
Maroon 5 holds the world land speed record for selling out. Like it previously held by No Doubt, by the way. Until
No Doubt.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
In case anybody didn't get the joke, Michelle just gave us all winks, so we know that she's she's joking. But
I didn't get that drum drop.
This whole which one? Oh Lord!
You didn't put the crickets in either.
Holy cow! So, anyways, I don't even like that song. Like "Wake Up Call," I just don't, and it's been stuck in my head the whole week, because the melody's so damn catchy. I don't know. So, but I wanted to, it's my jammy jam because it's been stuck in my head all week. So
you've been jamming out to it?
I will say Maroon 5 is like one of my guilty pleasures. Because they know their way around a hit song.
Well,
and
it's just the teams of people that
yes,
write their songs for them.
Every damn song and every album's catchy as shit.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that with our main topic.
Yeah.
But anyways, the other two have absolutely been my jammy jams, and they are by artists that I adore. One is probably still an offshoot of the grunge episode we did a couple weeks ago, but man, I haven't been able to listen to "Got Me Wrong" by Alice in Chains enough this week. Like it's almost when it's done, I just got to start it again. Any version of it, the studio version, the unplugged version, there's a live version of it on their live record. Pretty much any version I will take over and over. And then the other one is "The Boxer" by Simon and Garfunkel. It's just such a great song.
Do you know who does a good version of that?
We talked about it last night, but I know what you're going to say. Go on.
Marcus Mulford.
Yeah, that actually last night I pulled out the "Bridge Over Troubled Water" record for the first time in a long time because I've had that song stuck in my head all week. And we played it, and that came up that somebody else.
Oh, and his friends.
Yes, it's not just Marcus Mumford. So them's my jammy jams. Kyle, what have you been listening to?
I listened to 3 albums all the way through this week.
Oh boy.
Two were to no. I'm not. That's a lie. All 3 were to see if they were worth listening to.
Right.
And
all 3 were worth listening
nice.
to.
Nice. That's good.
Juicy J has a new album. Okay.
She knows Juicy J's stuff.
He is one of the founding members of 3 6 Mafia.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I'm going to go with. That's all that matters.
It's one you could play about 4 different songs and she'd be like, oh.
Yes.
So go on.
You've heard plenty of 3 6 Mafia songs. Maybe not so many Juicy J songs by himself. But this is, if you like Juicy J stuff, then you're going to like this album. It's very Juicy J.
Is it very juicy?
Sweet.
I was going to say it's very juicy, but I stopped.
What's the name of the record?
It is called The Hustle Continues.
Nice. What else you been listening to?
Miley Cyrus.
Right on. Is it good?
It is.
Okay.
It is for what it is. So
that's not the most ringing
she
endorsement.
has Billy Idol and Joan Jett on the record as well.
All right. Well, that's 1 for 2 for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a Joan Jett fan, but I get why she would have them.
So I listened to it just because when we had the guys from Vinyl Nation on, they were saying you should really give her a shot, not shit on her. So I did, and I didn't hate it.
Well, that's good.
And it's very much. I wouldn't say like her other like poppy stuff. She's just going through a transition with different things. It's different music than what you're used to.
Cool. Well,
most of which sounds like it could be played on the radio.
Let me put it this way, because it's a running joke, but every week when I send the playlist to Michelle, I'm like, whatever songs Kyle wants, like there's 2 or 3 off of there you could probably put on the playlist, good enough to make the playlist. Well, that's cool. What else?
The Smashing Pumpkins' new record, Sear.
And what's
Is that how we
story?
decided it's pronounced?
I watched I watched a video to specifically find out how it was pronounced.
Did Billy tell you?
Yes.
William.
Yes. The guy said it, and William did not correct him, so that's how.
I have not taken a listen to this yet. What's the story?
I dig it.
Right.
It's very, very different from other Pumpkin stuff.
That was my next question.
Think of a lot of digital drums and synth stuff.
Huh.
It's just, I don't know. I like it.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Cool.
You know how I feel. I don't want bands like you would have got less room with me if you would have been like, it's just like Siamese Dream. I would have been like, sweet, I already own that. You know what I mean?
It's very, very, we're going to talk about this later, but very digital sounding.
Okay.
Just,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we found out what she's talking about. We've
kind of.
We've learned about where her DNA sits. Now, come down from the mountaintop, Michelle, and share your jammy jams with everyone.
I would be pleased to do so. It's my pleasure.
Fantastic.
This week I've had one artist on repeat. It's Matt Mason, who I realized we were supposed to see back in July, and it makes me sad.
With,
Kaleo. So he has only a couple records, but
by the way, I feel like we should always say it both ways. That way, in the future, if we ever find out the right way, I can just edit out the wrong way.
Solid.
Yeah.
So he's only got a couple records out, but mostly I've been listening to Bank on the Funeral, which has a stripped version as well, which I really like. So
nice. So mostly just the one artist?
Yeah, just the one artist.
He's got the damn jams, man.
Yeah, and you told me you didn't like him.
I told you, yes. You know what? I originally did not listen to that guy based upon his name. I was just like,
just a name.
I just thought for sure he was going to sound like the lead singer of.
What is Kyle talking about?
Yeah.
Damn it!
I feel a show name change coming soon. What are they even talking about?
What did we talk about?
The lead singer of Dashboard.
Oh, and Chris Carrabba?
I just had this in my head that guy was going to sound like him, and I was like, no, I don't want to listen to that. And then when I did, I was like, holy shit, like this is good.
Yeah. If anybody out there likes his music, he's got the Bank on the Funeral album has an entire stripped. He did an entire album that's stripped, and it's different. It's not like they just stripped it down and like reissued it. I think he re-recorded it, so it's good. I like it. I would recommend checking it out.
Cool. All right, I am going to take us to break. When we come back, we're going to get into our main topic, which is going to be music and technology and all the ins and outs of that. We got a pretty good discussion lined up. We will be back in just a second.
Welcome everybody to the Potaskew Podcast. I am...
Whoa, dude. No. This is our promo, not the show. I'm Rico.
Oh, sorry. I'm CJ, and we're the hosts of the Potaskew Podcast.
We're fans of pretty much anything and everything pop culture, including movies, TV shows, books, video games, comics, music, and of course, Kevin Smith. Now, while we do keep our fingers on the pulse of Silent Bob, he certainly doesn't need our help in promoting him.
You got that right. We do our own thing, with inspiration from the man himself and his mantra of why not. We've got stories about celebrities, we've interviewed theories of our own for certain movies, and we can usually tend to have a great debate about anything.
We also do commentaries on movies. Sometimes we ask our fans what they want to watch with us. So if you love the timbre of our vocal cords and want to watch a movie at the same time, give us a listen.
Stay tuned every Monday, there's always something new. And if you've been good this year, we may even give you a bonus episode from time to time.
So please be good and subscribe to and enjoy Potaskew, founding member of the Odd Pods Media Network.
Are you constantly struggling with how to function in society? Do you need someone to make you laugh on occasion? Are you wanting to share your thoughts and opinions? Well, have I got a show for you. My name is Garrett, host of Garrett Talks to Himself, a segmented, interactive podcast where I do all of these things. Head to anchor.fm/GTTH to subscribe wherever you listen. I'll be waiting.
I'm Midnight Agent Raw. And I'm Okami. We are the Super Media Bros Podcast. And each week, we give a comedic take on all forms of entertainment, such as movies, music, video games, television, and much more. So put your shades on and listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Shades on. We're off.
And we are back. We are going to get into our main topic here in a second. Or should we? Should we do our main topic or think?
No, you're right.
Oh yeah, no, Michelle. What'd you say, Michelle?
No, you're right.
Oh, no, I'm right. No, I'm right. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's not do the main topic right now. Let's not.
No, you're right.
No, you know what? Yeah. Okay, Michelle. Just because you said I'm right, let's go ahead and. And I appreciate that, by the way.
You can fuck off.
That's very kind of you to keep saying that. So I appreciate that. So we'll go ahead and get into it.
It's time for the Infectious Groove Podcast. Main topic of discussion.
I wasn't going to do the main topic, but like she seemed to insist that I was right, that I wanted to do it. It was so many times she kept saying I was right. And I just to be clear, it's this blue button right here is the one.
Smash that board.
Yeah, you should do that. You should try, and we'll see what happens.
What happens?
When we discussed this week's main topic, I already asked Michelle, please be interactive on this, because I feel like this probably doesn't matter to you all that much, like in some ways, and we'll get into it, but I feel like it should matter to you. How's that?
I guess we're going to find out together.
We are going to find out. So technology and music in some ways have always been kind of far apart. Like in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like everything was very, very, very analog. Like the way things were even recorded and delivered and everything. And I feel like anybody like myself who is leery of technological advancements gets like pigeonholed, like, oh, I just want it to be like the olden days. And like, that's not it at all. Like even Jack White, like dude owns a pressing plant and all that. And he gets like, a lot of people think like, oh, he just wants things to be like they were in the 50s or 60s or 70s. And like, that's not it. It's just there are drawbacks to technological advances that most people don't think of when it comes to art. Mm-hmm. And that's why this topic was something that was important to me. I was actually surprised when I was looking at our like future topics. I was like, I can't believe we didn't do that one yet. Like, cause it's, so important to me. So overall, do you think that music or technology has improved the music that we're getting? Not like how we get it or anything. We'll get to that later, but like the actual music that we're getting, you think it's improved it? Mm-hmm. Okay. I agree and I disagree, but I'll go on.
It depends on what you're talking about and who you're talking about, because there's still artists now that don't use any sort of modern technology to record things.
Right.
And that's fantastic. But then there's artists that exist now that could not exist without modern technology.
Okay. So that's probably the biggest plus.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because you have an abundance of people who, like I say, like with the limited resources we have right here in the studio, I could record an entire album, which like, even 15 years ago wouldn't be the case, right? Mm-hmm. So you have people like, Bieber's a good example. Like he came off of YouTube, because he was like making music at home, and I think Usher found him.
Usher did find him.
Okay, so and that's fine, but you have to remember that like there used to be a process involved with making music that has kind of gone by the wayside. And I think that more people being involved in the creation, the quality control aspect of music is completely lost with the easy access that everybody has to making music now.
But like, what about, so like at one point in time, like they just recorded it, you had straight through, that was it. Like you had to sit in the studio and get it right the first time, front to back.
There were no mistakes.
So like it takes technology to be able to do to record different aspects of a song and put them together and layer them and dub stuff, and like that's all technology that makes the music.
So that's a super valid point, but you're a little ahead of me. Let me just tell you what I'm talking about.
Back up.
That's a super, super valid point, but it's more into the next point that I want to go into. What I'm talking about is, and a lot of this is kind of like, some people don't care how the sausage is made type thing, but if you
probably don't want to know.
So if you take, let's take an album like Bad. There were 37 tracks that were recorded for the album Bad. Mm-hmm. And it takes a Quincy Jones or Bruce Swiddy, like the people involved in the recording, to be like, okay, Michael, like top 10 only. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whereas like a kid in his basement's going to be like, I made 37 songs. And you're going to be like, well, but 10 of them are great. You know what I mean? So that's like my concern with that aspect of it, is like the quality control's gone. Like you take something like Welcome to the Jungle. If you listen to the demo of Welcome to the Jungle before the GNR's producer Mike Klink got a hold of it, like that's not a hit song. And then like it takes, they recorded it, and then the producer gets his hands on it and he's like, okay, I'm going to take this bridge out, make this part faster, add a solo here, and like now you have a hit song. You know what I mean? So,
but all that still takes technology.
No, that all takes technology, but now you're able to all do it as one person, and I don't think that's good. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you used to have to go to like a record producer and a recording engineer and a recording studio, and now you don't have to do all those things, and so there's no quality control because you're your own person sitting here.
You don't have to do those things, but then you're going to end up with a shit record.
Maybe not.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying, though. I think we're going to end up with more, like if you look now, the average length of a record that comes out now, like not a vinyl record, but like an actual recording by an artist, is like 79 or 80 minutes. Yeah. Like, I want to be clear, the Beatles, one of the most influential acts in the history of music, had a total of 9 studio records, I think. We debated that. It's like 8 or 9. and they only had one double record in their run. So if the Beatles didn't have enough material, like the most influential songwriters of all time, to continually put out double records, you don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's because that quality control isn't there. You had George Martin being like, well, that's nice, John, but that song is not going on this record.
Are you saying that there's stuff out there by well-known artists that is like that you can find on Spotify that's just shit because
because there's no
control?
QC.
I see what you're saying.
Because there's nobody there to be like, stop that.
I will also say that someone who truly cares about the craft, what they're doing, does not let technology interfere with what they're doing.
Explain further.
So,
I think I get what you're saying, but
like,
I'm not
for
entirely
instance, someone who, like Jack White, he wants it to sound a certain way, so he uses certain means to make that sound a certain way, so he's not losing anything using newer technology. Because he traditionally cares about how it sounds and what he's trying to do. If you're just a whatever act that like it needs to put out a record for the record label, and you don't really, it's fine if you didn't have so and so in the room when you were doing this, or so it didn't get passed through so and so to point out your mistakes or whatever, or to fix things, then that's fine.
So one thing that ties into what you were talking about is like, if you take somebody like Jack White's got all the experience and know-how. Like, he's been at it for a long time. Whereas if you take like a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid in the studio, studio meaning like sitting in front of a laptop, with a keyboard and a guitar player or a guitar or whatever, they don't know anything about like, how something should be structured or like really what good art is, other than like what they like, or you know what I mean? So I just feel like there needs to be more influence.
Not to sound like an old person.
Oh boy.
But
You're old.
Kids these days. So kids now, young adults now, think that a producer is just someone who makes a beat or music for a song.
Right.
That's not true.
No.
A producer has a hand in everything that goes into that record being made. And so I think that, and there's some confusion because there's a lot of beat makers that label themselves as producers, and that's what people think that they are, and that's not true at all. And there's other producers, like if you go into the studio with Dr. Dre, he's not just making the beat, he controls every single thing that happens on one of his songs or one of your songs.
Which is what we're talking about with the quality control.
Yeah. And so I think it's allowed to get lost now because the younger generation doesn't care about that.
Right. Which is sad.
Yeah.
Like I say, if the Beatles didn't have George Martin, the Beatles are not anywhere near as great as we all think they are. Like, he's the control valve. Like, he's the guy that was like, that's great, Paul, but that's not happening on this record. Now, later years he would let stuff like, why don't we do it on the road fly? But, like, that works for me. But I feel like that's a big drawback of tech, is that you get all these, like, one-man army people that, like, just because you think it's great doesn't mean anybody else is going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that up to everyone else to decide?
Yeah, but I don't feel like, what I'm saying is, because of the way the technology is, we're getting a lot more quantity than quality as far as music goes.
That's totally true.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, just because you can put out an 80-minute record doesn't mean that you should.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And I hate to keep going to the Beatles but like, the Beatles could have put out double records the entire career, but they didn't.
Right.
This might be jumping ahead a little bit, but technology has allowed anyone and everyone, like you just said, to put out music, when before you would have had to get found or get a record deal, and then they decide,
go to the school of hard knocks.
They decide if you're good enough, when it's not just you. They're like, oh, okay, well, sweet, he did it, so can I.
Right. Now, I don't even have that in my notes, but that's a great point. You used to have to go to like the school of hard knocks and like learn your way around it. And also, to add on to your point, rather, you got to wonder how many people are in it for the passion or the love of the art.
Yeah.
When it's so accessible now.
Not a lot.
There's a difference between, say, 1995 and before, having to play to the other bands and the other band's girlfriends, as they say in the movie Airheads, for 6 years before the right person happens to hear you, and wanting to do that 5 nights a week and putting everything you have into something. There's a difference between that and then just like accidentally putting together a song some people like and it ending up on YouTube and you becoming a thing.
Do you feel like you guys are just old? I mean that in the nicest way possible.
I was going to say, I'm going to take that as a serious question. And the reason why my defense for me not being old is because I'm so passionate about music as an art form.
Yeah. Well, I'm
full of youth, so no.
So when you were saying that, I instantly thought of the tattoo industry, where it's like you can't just like learn online and like go and tattoo people.
You can, but you don't truly care about the craft that you're about to partake in.
more respected tattoo artists are like, you have to have an apprenticeship that takes like years to do, and like you have to come up and you have to pay your dues and scrub tubes, and like that's.
I feel like music should be that way. Like you should have to be someone's roadie for like.
And it's like a band of like people, like it's not just like a couple people, like it's industry known, like and there's tattoo artists who speak out and saying like, don't become a tattoo artist. We have too many, like. And so I was just thinking that, like, I wonder if it's just like an age thing, a generational thing, like that's where we are now in our lives, and that.
So, but, go ahead. I'm going to just complain again. Go on.
Another thing that I was just thinking about is, so nowadays, so you have a producer and then you have, let's say, 2 artists that are going to be on the song together. None of those people have to be in the same room as one another.
Yeah.
So you got the producer who makes the beat and is waiting for people to hop on it. They write, sometimes they write the lyrics. They decide who they want on the song, etc. Sends it over to subject A. They lay down whatever they're going to lay down on the track. That gets sent over to subject B. They lay down whatever they're going to lay down on the track. And one's in New York, one's in Miami, and one's in London. You do not get the same kind of connection as all being in the studio together recording something. Yep. Because all it is you get an email saying, hey, I need you to lay down this hook for whatever song. And you go onto your laptop and you have a studio mic at your house and you just lay down the hook of whatever you need to do and call it a day.
But isn't that just showing how amazing technology is, that now in times of COVID where you cannot be together, that you can record music still? It
is, but for me it ties into the human element being completely gone. Like
I'm not saying that
the chemistry of it.
For sure, and that's extremely important. But like, if that was the case, if we had no technology to do this, like there would just be no new music then now, because you can't go in and sing and be with other people.
Like, for example, if Quincy Jones wasn't in the studio with Michael Jackson, we wouldn't have gotten the same material.
Yeah, like the same feeling.
For sure. No, and I'm not saying that that's not something that is very important, but I'm saying it's also, on the other hand.
Well, I also feel like, if people couldn't be in person making music, if you had to be in person making music and people couldn't be in person making music right now, again, maybe that would lead to more people putting more effort and thought into what they're going to record instead of just...
Van the Man would have a lot to say about it.
Van the Man would have a lot to say about it. But, like, you just lose the human element to everything, I think. I agree. And there's so many things that music being recorded, even just the act of music being recorded digitally, takes away from everything. Like, there's just things in some of your favorite songs that you've ever heard that would not have happened without, like, analog tape or echo in the studio, or, like, just things that would never, ever happen because of
But aren't people out there still keeping that alive?
There are, but it's not mainstream at all. You really got to go look for that. Like Green Lung, like that Will from Limehouse podcast turned us on to. Like, that's a real band doing real things, like the real way.
So they're actually, speaking of Green Lung, they're actually out recording their new album right now, and they're in like Wales or something, and they keep posting pictures from like the area that they're recording in, and like that shit never happens now.
Right.
Like it's just like back in the day when your favorite artist was like off recording their album and they're like posting updates to like what they're doing this day and that day, and like it's awesome to like follow along and see that.
I shit you not, the next thing that I have in my note is that I think the same amount, I'm literally reading word for word what I wrote. I think the same amount of care should be put into making music that the amount of care that I put in listening to it. And that's exactly that. Like, people, so that band doing things that way is far different from somebody checking their Gmail and being like, oh, I've got to write a beat.
Yeah.
Like, it's a totally...
But not everyone is like you.
Not everyone is like me. People listening to the show probably are, though.
Like you?
Yeah, like, I sure hope so. that want to give music the respect that it deserves.
For sure. No, I agree. No, you're right.
You already said you agree. You don't have to say you're right again. That's weird how she keeps overkilling it with the no, you're right. So wrong. I feel like there's going to be a battle of those two drops.
You're wrong.
No, you're right. No, you're right. No, you're right.
That was the remix. So we're.
Oh no, the snow.
Sweet. So let's get into this because I feel like most people, when we said, technology and music, they figured this is where we were going anyways. I just kind of wanted to touch on, like, I do think it's important that we are aware of how it's made. And I think you can make great digital music, but it should never be an afterthought. Like, I can just correct those vocals to the right timing or what, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be using.
To me, that allows you to care less about what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or not be as good at what you're doing.
Yes.
So, has technology improved the way we consume music? And I feel like the easy answer is yes, but I want you all to hear me out. How do you feel?
The easy answer is yes, because of things like streaming and YouTube and things like that. But the refined answer is no.
Yeah.
Because streaming has allowed so many more people to hear things that may have not been able to otherwise hear them. But you should really, really look into things. You need to look into how things became to where they are now before you can appreciate anything.
Sure.
So vinyl's back. Cassettes are coming back. These are all things that like took a different kind of work to create. And it's different than... The feeling that you get when you drop a needle on a record is 100% different than when you go into Spotify and click on a song to play.
Oh, for sure.
And people, a lot of the younger kids now, all they have experiences doing is clicking play on iTunes or on Spotify.
So my thing with streaming is a couple of different things. Number one is, a lot of stuff gets skipped. You know, like if you put on a record, you're going to play it through, and you're probably like, I have so many records that when I was a kid, I only heard like the big hit single on the radio, or whatever, or I bought the CD and listened to like the songs that I knew. And now that I have the vinyl, I've listened to it and been like, there are so many other kick-ass songs by this band that I didn't know about, or whatever.
The rest of the record is garbage.
And that can happen, yes, but like at least give it a shot. There's that, and then there's tons of stuff that's not available on streaming, which is ridiculous. That is a huge bummer. And then the other part of it that like I think a lot of people don't think about with streaming is like, and this is probably the total music geek side of me, but like you take Aerosmith Dream On, right? If you just go to Spotify and you type in Dream On, it's going to come up with the regular ass studio version of Dream On, which is just fine. But there's like 100 other versions of Dream On that are great for different reasons. And like no one's ever going to look into that stuff, and you would the way that music used to be distributed. So on the other hand, though,
that's not true.
Hold on. What? No, that is true.
I've looked up several different versions of songs. If I find live versions or anything like that, like I've searched that out through technology.
Yeah, but not to be a jerk. But again, we're talking about us. Like I'm talking about Joe Blow. Like you're a music.
Oh, Joe Blow.
Yeah. Like you're like a music person, right? So you're gonna do that.
Am I? You tell me every week.
I don't know. Some weeks
to be debated.
Yeah. Some weeks.
Can I get that in the drop?
Yeah. So I feel like that is a big, huge thing that a lot of people would never do.
I agree.
And then, of course, the yes for me, and you've dealt with this more than anybody outside of my wife, maybe, the thing where we're in the middle of literally Farmville, Michigan, and I'm like, I have to hear this song right now. Like I used to, she knows this, I used to carry around 1,500 CDs in my car, and we would pull over to the side of the road so I could find the one CD. And now I can just be like, hey, pull up this and whatever. So that's great for me. But for you, what's the answer for you? Like, has technology improved the way you consume music?
Yes.
And yes, period.
I think yes all around. I think that it's easily accessible for me to find new music, which then, and I know that I'm not like everyone else, and neither are the two of you, but like then I go and search for it, and then I go purchase it, and then I go to concerts and I hear about it. But I think that even I was doing that even like when Napster was out. I was like, oh my god, and like finding out new things, and then going to the store and purchasing the CDs so that I can listen to them. I think that without that, I don't know how it would be. Like I feel like we would still be hanging out listening to records, but I think we would have such a smaller pool of what we listen to.
Well, not here.
Maybe, but we've also I've introduced you to things, and you've introduced and I find all my things on the internet.
Yeah.
So like you'd have to just go by
the internet. Okay. Michelle just learned about it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like, and when I used to work at MediaPlay with my check every week, I used to blind buy a CD. And like that would be the only way that you would go, and other than word of mouth, I feel like that would be the only other way. And so I feel like it has.
Well, everyone else used to talk to the employees at the record stores, but like,
oh no, I was the employee at the record store.
you don't want to be told what to do. So
I used to judge a book by its cover, absolutely, and just buy records or CDs. Sorry.
Right.
So
see, for me, I think that it's gone. I was gonna say I've gone backwards now, but like I think it's it's full circle now. I had a lot of cassettes back in the day, then I had a lot of CDs, and then I was like, oh my god, like I can digitize all of my CDs onto the computer and have them in my iPod or whatever. And then now it's got to be where I only ever listen to streaming when I'm usually not at home, or like if I'm in the shower or something, I can't listen to a record, whatever.
You can take the record player in the shower.
But then now I have what I think is a very serious vinyl problem that.
Turn around,
bro.
Michelle, if you look to your right, you're going to see the future.
Bro,
I can show you a crystal ball if you want to look to your right.
Records showed up to my house every day.
That's praise Jesus.
And I said, "Did you win the lottery?" And did not tell me.
That is fantastic.
So now it's back to not. I don't really. Like I said, I only use streaming for certain things. I don't really care anymore because now if I find out a new record's out, I go and immediately see if I can get it on vinyl.
Yeah.
And
so I've heard.
Or we go to Target for groceries and we end up with 4
buying
records.
vinyl.
I just today, a friend of mine sent me a picture of a Walmart exclusive record that my wife and I are going to go to several Walmarts tonight until I find it.
Yeah, see?
You're not going to want to hear about this. It's Poison's Greatest Hits, which I never expected to be on vinyl, but it was pressed on vinyl for Walmart, and it has the one song I like from their 4th album, Stand, is on their greatest hits, so I can avoid overpaying for because their 4th album's rare on vinyl. I can avoid paying for an original pressing of that and just get the greatest hits that's got that.
Is it on a green? Is it green?
It's green and yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Well, hell yeah, it's Poison. and then there's a Poison in it record that, with God as my witness, will never come out on vinyl, but should. Their 5th album, Crack a Smile, which is by far their best album, will never come out on vinyl, but there's 2 songs from it on their hits package, so I can at least get those 2 songs on vinyl. So anyways,
I actually didn't know that Walmart carried records.
So yeah, go to Walmart.
Now don't get too excited because they only sell edited music. So
not on vinyl.
Oh,
they sell.
What?
Yeah, they sell all the vinyl is got parental advisory on it.
No shit.
Yep.
They're coming around.
Is there edited vinyl?
Oh yeah, yeah. It took me for years to find the Chronic 2001 unedited. Like every time I came across it, I was like, finally, the Chronic. Damn it. Like every time I found one, it was edited for years. I don't know why. So anyways, the one thing I want to talk about that I've kind of touched on, like reasons why I think this, but there's one big one that I don't think a lot of people think about. And we are so going to start with Michelle on this. Do you worry at all about how technology...
she worries all the time about everything. It's fine.
Right.
Do you worry...
God damn it.
at all about how technology will adversely affect music going forward?
No.
Okay. Here's why I do. Let me tell you why I do.
Can I explain why I don't?
Nope. No, I'm just...
You're like, please come with conversation. Don't say yes or no. And then I'm like, no. And you're like, all right, done.
I felt like I was going to change your mind, but I'll hear your argument first.
I just feel like there's going to be passionate people out there who are always going to try to keep things in the original roots. And then it's just the progression of life. We get more access to everything. Not everyone used to own a telephone. Like, that's just how it works with technology. Right. I feel like people are going to become smarter and they're not going to just listen to any garbage that anybody puts on YouTube, or they will. But like, for the most part, it's going to help everything in the future.
I don't disagree with any of that, but I think there's an aspect of it you're not thinking of.
Go. Then let's...
No, I want to hear Kyle's thoughts first. Is there anything you fear about like the future of music and technology?
I want to back up for 2 seconds. I kind of said that technology would lead you to be less passionate about music, which is not true because there's a person named Trent Reznor.
Well, technology can.
Yeah. So, every single thing that he's ever done has involved like state-of-the-art technology, and it's fucking fantastic.
Sure.
And I very, very much enjoy Nine Inch Nails and all the stuff that he does.
And to be clear, I know you were joking when you said it, but like Kyle and I aren't here being like, we're old and you should tape everything. Like I'm saying it the same way Jack White is saying it, and he also gets misconstrued, and he has a much bigger platform than me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like I'm just saying, like, it's not always just because you can time correct the drums and the vocals and everything doesn't mean that you should.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I think there's still people out there who are very hard rallying for the cause and producing good music still, and in the correct way, not using all the auto tune and everything.
My answer to your question is, as long as there's still people who care about music and technology like Trent Reznor does, then no, I don't think that it's going to affect it in a negative way.
So my big concern is with consumption and ownership, because when you purchase music, whether you own it on cassette, CD, or vinyl, you don't own that. Okay, so if you go buy Jagged Little Pill on vinyl, you don't own Jagged Little Pill. What you're buying is a license to play that music in your home. Okay, and then you happen to be buying a compact cassette, a 5-inch disc or a 12-inch disc as a way to deliver your license through your speakers. Okay?
Yep.
That's all fine and good, because at that point, you not owning the music doesn't matter, because you have a copy of it readily available at all times that you can listen to any time you choose, right?
Right.
With streaming and tech, if the rights change hands or if something happens anytime, things can just disappear. And you don't even, it would be more or less like someone just coming into your house. You'd be like, is someone in the basement? Well, yeah, what happened? Well, the rights changed hands to Jagged Little Pill, so the guy's taking our record. Like, that's not okay. Like,
but they can't take your records.
Right. But with streaming, the album can just disappear. Let me give you an example. There was 2 songs on Appetite for Destruction, GNR's first record, that were co-written with a guy named West Arkeen. It's So Easy and Anything Goes. Every so often, those 2 songs will just not be available on Spotify or Tidal or whatever. Insert streaming here. So you'll, like, Appetite for Destruction goes, Welcome to the Jungle, It's So Easy, Night Train. Like, that's how the record goes. And you'll put it on and it'll just go, Welcome to the Jungle, Night Train. Because It's So Easy is just not available. Okay? Prince, The Gold Experience. To this day, The Most Beautiful Girl in the World is not on streaming, but The Gold Experience is, including the interlude track that sets up The Gold Experience, or the Most Beautiful Girl in the World. That's like, and now you're about to have the beautiful experience, blah, 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 blah. And then you hear the start of the song, and then the song doesn't play. I have The Gold Experience right over there, and I can listen to that song anytime I want to.
Exactly.
But I'm saying, because of the technology, what if in a year, you love the Lone Bellow, what if in a year something happens with the rights and all of a sudden you can't stream any Lone Bellow music because somebody...
I have to put a record player in my car.
How long did we search for ILBT on streaming before it just randomly appeared?
Right.
Pretty long.
We were like desperately trying to find that, and it was just not there.
When you leave here, get in the car and put on Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant. You won't be able to, but you can sure try. And like, I know those are like little examples, but like what I'm talking about is where we're going to go with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if in a year or so, you just, because nobody reads the terms and conditions on anything, right? There's a whole South Park episode about it, right?
Yeah.
What if in the future the terms and conditions is like, you get to listen to this album for a month, or what? And then what happens? You know what I mean?
Well, now we're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
No, but what I'm saying is it's already occurring, though. This happened like 3 years ago. I went to listen to Appetite for Destruction, as you do. And I was like, why is it so easy not on here? Like, GNR opens with that song in concert. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, and it's just not there. Then I did a whole bunch of digging and found out, like, oh, it's because West Arkeen helped write it and blah, 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 blah. And like, the rights are just kind of up in the air right now. So like, then you're not streaming Appetite for Destruction. Then you're streaming a collection of songs that mostly make up Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah, that were supposed to make
So what about the people who pull it? So you're saying that they don't matter? So like, whatever happened where that guy decided that he doesn't want those, whatever's happening, like that should not affect the end consumer.
Now that's a whole discussion for it. That's, you get into masters and songwriting and all that at that point. But what I'm saying is we never had this issue before.
Because they physically can't come into your house. But they were still having the...
No, but that same song is on a physical album, just not on streaming.
Right, but what if, so in the future, if this has happened, they would just start pressing records without those 2 songs on it?
No, because every pressing of it that's ever come out has had those songs on it.
But I'm saying if there wasn't technology, if there was something problem with those 2 rights, then they would start pressing that record without those 2 songs on it?
Well, I don't know, maybe. But I mean, my point, all I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to be doomsday about it, like the whole, like, maybe if you could listen to it only for a month or whatever, like, what I'm saying is the original question was like, is there anything that scares you about music and technology? And that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what if, in 2 years or whatever else, I'm like, oh, hey guys, remember that time we saw that band in concert? Yeah, hooray, we go to put it on. Oh yeah, no, we just can't listen to that anymore.
Well, I guess we should have to start buying all the vinyl so that we will never run into that problem.
Very recently, like within the last hour, I heard a rumor that a friend of mine started buying all the vinyl. So we should be good on that. I think. I think between the two houses, we should be.
Lord be with me.
I'm pretty set. So, we had a ton of interaction on social media this last week, and I would like to see a ton more. Like, what did we get right on this? What did we get wrong? By we getting wrong, I mean Michelle. I mean, I'm pretty sure all her points were wrong. But no, you made a lot of great points that I agree with. I just think that there's more to it that even the average consumer isn't thinking of.
Oh, I 100% agree that the average consumer does not think about any of the stuff that we talked about.
Well, let me put it this way. I think there's a wide difference between Elf not being available on Netflix this week and you don't see them putting Elf on Netflix and like a whole scene is gone. And they're just like, yeah, but this is Elf.
That'd be so weird.
I have seen them edit some stuff weirdly.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different
Or change
thing.
the music. They've changed the music in movies.
I know. It's almost like music rights are a dicey thing.
I know.
It's crazy. So anyways, next week is not going to be any more fun. We're going to talk about well, and by not fun, I mean like I think one of the draws to the show is a lot of people feel the same way we do. Like it's a whole lot of like, but this is like how I feel about music, So next week we're going to get into one of those topics that like I think all three of us or even the listeners are probably like, you didn't cover that yet.
We talk about it a lot.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a whole now, and we've discussed how like we feel about the idea of the Hall of Fame, but we're going to get more into the whole like snubs and who is in that shouldn't be, or that type of thing. So I think it's going to be a fun conversation. But by all means, if you're listening to this and you have thoughts on technology and music, or if you think Kyle and I are just old,
I should say that when I said you guys, I'm in that with you because I just feel like we all grew up different, like about the same in music. Like we grew up collecting stuff.
If I'm hearing you right,
no, you're right.
So, okay. No, you're right. All right, cool. All right.
There you
go. Without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
The Infectious Groove podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Wimple, and Michelle Koselecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Opening credits read by Stacey Robinson. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.